seen heaven turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. They play my niggas, lay you down, they all down the ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. Tell me we don't live in hell. My brother doing 55 in that cell. Nigga claiming he your round here spit shell. Same nigga you put on to hit the stand and tell. How the fuck you turn your back on a nigga that love you? Treat your kids like my kids, treat you like a brother. I told my dog, let's leave the streets to serve the most high. He said, fuck that shit, he trying to sell another pie. His daddy killed him, put him in the trunk, set him on fire. His wife was pregnant, he ain't never get to see his child. Had me thinking to myself, what happened if I die? Look my babies in the eyes, I gotta stay alive. I put my ego on the shelf and my pride to the side. I'm with some niggas who gon' step and got God on their side. Got in the ISUPK, they keep asking me why. As I do the work of the Lord, I gotta stay alive. Face the east, pray alive. I seen heaven turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. They play my niggas, lay you down, they all down the ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive.
You ever pump a pack with a snake by your side? Yes, I did. See a man reach out to God before he died? Yes, I did. I know the Lord forgive us for these sins, but I'm starting to think the kingdom of heaven is for these kids. I told my daughter, there's one man in your bed, I won't stand for less. For my son, I hit your head on that fragile legs. I lost some niggas to that dope, I lost niggas to the feds. Remember Jono tried to stick me for that cheese on that bread, yeah, I was thugging with Lucky, that nigga left me for dead. Endure to the end, cause I listened to what was said. Mother told me she loved me when she was sick up in the bed. I was running them streets, but the truth made me a man. Shit, I don't really speak, cause she'll never understand. That's why I ain't even tell her about these voices in my head. I'm still trying to manage my anger like Uncle Craig.
I seen heaven turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. They play my niggas, lay you down, they all down the ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive.
Don't kill your brother off some bullshit, man. Don't hurt your people, man. This is for protection only, man. I got family.
Check.
I got brothers out there.
Like, share, and subscribe. If you got any questions, go ahead, put it in the chat. We'll get started in 1 second. I got Facebook running. Got YouTube running. We're gonna rock out. Here's the song, boy.
She say I'm obnoxious. Say I got way too much confidence. Say it's a problem. All I do is try to pull a woman and say I'm a monster. But really, it ain't nothing. I'm just like my brothers. But shit, you know you look better with me, yeah. Yeah, you know you look better with me. I pull up and then shock. Do a dance, hold on, what the fuck? I chill, I run it up. Come and fetch a girl, boy, stop, bitch. Okay, you know you look better with me. I don't know what lies. I'm a doodle with a nigga pride. I'm just like a lion. Want my woman cook, clean, fuck, and shut the fuck up, yeah. I got bigger piles of work out than you in the adultery. But shit, you know you ain't going nowhere. Hey, taking my move with the face. Try to walk to the place. Ice on me, come and skate. You really hold one to escape. Yeah, we up, face your face. Or outwork me, what you think? Pretty girl, good taste. Wanna know all my traits. You know I'm on attention. I'm James Brown, to the Israel. Bullets long, yeah, extensions. The nigga hate when they mention. I pull up how I'm gifted. I'm Mike Jackson with the fist. Beat it like I'm Thriller. She say I'm obnoxious. Say I got way too much confidence, that's a problem. All I do is try to pull a woman and say I'm a monster. But really, it ain't nothing, I'm just like my brothers. But shit, you know you look better with me, yeah.
Sorry,
You know you look better with me. I pull up and then shock. I do my dance on them, what the fuck? I judge, I run it up. You call me fast girl, boy, stop that. Okay, you know you look better with me. Bitch, you basic. If you don't want a South Coast nigga, you just a ranking. And really, you ain't even damn exquisite. And bitch, you fake it. Wanna rush a dog seat nigga, and the picture I painted. And I mean, everywhere I say T, I give you some flavor. But I guess you ain't even wanna take it. Bitch, you outdated. And you done gave it up for some paper. You just like your main man. Start with 3 down, baby, better spit what you thinking. You were thinking with your damn bars, huh? You the type motherfucker wanna pull up, how the fuck when the fall, huh? Then beat it from the back, no damn attack, it was just for lunch, huh? Dirt down about pussy bitch, wanna talk shit on the low, huh? Want this everybody with, cause you don't even know how they say I'm obnoxious. Say I got way too much confidence, that's a problem. All I do is try to pull a woman and say I'm a monster. But really, it ain't
let's rock and roll, let's rock and roll.
But shit, you know you look better with me, yeah. Girl, you know you look better with me. I pull up and then shock. I do my dance on them, what the fuck? I judge, I run it up.
Shalom, Israel. It's Precinct Officer Maisha of the ISUPK, Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West Harlem, New York, 125th Street, under Commanding General Yohana. Here to teach all so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans their history, culture, according to the Bible. Slocky, just 1 second. Let me close that. Put your comments, questions in the chat. If you see the title today, the title is America's Cruelty. We're going to touch on some current topics that's going on today. Make sure my sound is Tawab. Let me make sure my sound is good. Topics that's going on today. Sound good. It's a good sound check. If you got any questions, any comments about what's going on in America and abroad, if you want to know the stance and the opinion of the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana, or if you just want to call us a cult, false, whatever you want to call us, put it in the chat. All right. Now we got the social media platforms going on. All right. Getting into the topic today, it's very important for the things that we see that are going on around us, especially what the news is reporting. For those that don't know, the ISUPK since 1969 has prophesied the Third World War. We'll be touching on it a little bit today, but more importantly, I want to touch on some of the things that's going on in America. Obviously, the deportation of the so-called Mexicans, Latinos is vile, evil, foolish. I wanted to come up with the perfect word for Christianity, and for a while it eluded me, and I had to really think about it for a second, that Christianity and just the ways of the world, the best word that I could come up with was nutritious. And nutritious meaning, I don't know how old you guys are or the viewers. You ever watched the shows, or when you was in class, they said, you know, you need this many proteins, this many vegetables, this many carbs on your plate. That's Christianity. And I know you're thinking like, well, where is he going? Listen, Christianity fulfills every lust and every evil that you could ever think of, that you could ever have. The things that go on in this world, and they get ignored. How can they get ignored with so much love and everybody who wants to be a part of something? How can you have all this love, all this John 3:16, yet things go on in this world and nothing stops it? Nothing happens. It makes the point of people who say the Most High isn't real. For those people, you try to give them a leg up, like, oh, I could understand with all the evil that's going on in the world. How can we turn a blind ear to it? There are people who don't even, acknowledge it. They go on about their daily life and they don't want to recognize the ills of what's going on, the beast that you're under. It's just nutritious. You want to be unalive, you can do it. You can do anything under Christianity, the mark of the beast, to fulfill your lust. That's how cruel America is. People not just running over here for money, for the opportunity to be rich. It's rich people all over the world. But when you think about America's cruelty that they have towards certain people, it's obvious. It's obvious that those people don't want to see certain nations of people succeed. How smart is it to take away the workforce, the underpaid workforce of the so-called Mexicans? You had to be a fool. It's too many Christian churches and it's too many Muslim mosques. If you really had love for those people, you would be bringing them in hordes, in droves, to get them citizenship. Who's going to work those fields? And they're getting people who are just trying to make a decent living and run from the oppression and the hard times from wherever they were. And America is still cruel to them. I don't want to go too long without pulling the scripture, but this is Jeremiah 16:16. This is concerning us in the ISUPK that I want to bring out first. And it says, this is verse 16, behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish men. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. That could be those bunkers that people want to start building. But this is the Most High's words. For those people that's going through that oppression, you look and seek for a higher power, and you look to serve the Lord, because you see that America does not have your best interest unless you're allied with them, and they just don't want to ally with so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. This is true. So this day will come, and right now we're fishing, and the fishing is just me telling you the truth of the Bible, that you don't stand alone. We stand with the Mexicans, with the Latinos. You on that 12 tribe chart. Can we not look at the history of the Native Americans? I'm going to just let that one sit. We can see how America has been cruel to all of the 12 tribes. If you disagree, TikTok, you can go ahead and put it in the chat. I don't want to hear about how slavery has been around. Everybody has been enslaved, Slakia. Because it seems as if the only people who can get a fair shake in this world is Esau. If you don't know who Esau is, the biblical Edomites, it seems like they're the only ones that can get a fair shake. The only ones who can get some love, who can get some appreciation. But let me tell you, I was having a conversation. Let me tell you how evil Esau is. Because he is the power that rules the earth. I was having a conversation with a good brother of mine, and I was hoping that he would impart some different wisdom on me. But I kind of knew what he was going to say. People think that money is going to save us. We have trillions of dollars just in the black community. We got that. Just in the black community, we have $1 trillion worth of spending power. You can Google it. If you think I'm wrong, you can Google it. What's going on, Alexander? So it's not money that's going to save us. So-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have a loyalty problem, and Esau exploits it. Commander General Yohana on his show last night, or was it General Mahimas? It was a show on Monday. It was a Monday night scripture breakdown class. And what we found out was that America picks the cream of the crop from the 12 tribes. If you're excellent, if you're intelligent, if you're a genius, he'll pick that cream of the crop, that piece, and he'll bring it for his side to work for him. That's a loyalty problem. That's an identity crisis that we're continually to go through. But as long as this oppressor is on top of us, we're not going to see no success unless we gather together. That's Zephaniah 2:1. We got to gather together. This is Lamentations 4:17. 4:17. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. We still waiting. The Native Americans is still waiting to get what they was promised. All of those treaties that was broken. How many treaties and agreements was broken with black people? And people still want to integrate. It's foolish to integrate. Man, you have to be so dumb. You got to be dumb. You got to be stupid. You got to be ignorant. You just have to be. When you look at the ways of the world, how can you have the ways of the world and you live in them and you looking at all of the destruction? The so-called Mexicans was just in cages and nobody batted an eye. And then there were Mexicans and Latinos who voted for them, thinking that voting was going to save us. Red, white, and blue. Go Trump. What happened with that? The Bible says we looked for a nation that could not save us, that didn't want to save us. It's funny how they say, oh man, I hear the arguments of white people. And they say, man, I'm not those people. Oh, that's not me. Man, those my ancestors. We different. I think Texas, California, maybe Arizona, all of those was Mexico, or belong to the so-called Mexicans. So are y'all telling me, is the earth telling me that whoever has the most power is going to rule the world, righteous or unrighteous? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. If you say, you know what, these people are in power, they're going to run the show however they want to. And you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to give you 2 thumbs up because I'll wait for my power. I won't be idle. I'll be reading these scriptures until I'm taken off this earth. But you want to tell me, okay, whoever got the power going to run the earth? No sweat. No sweat, champ. I'm going to wait till my power is going to run the earth with an iron fist. You can't believe in something and not follow it. This is hundreds of years of cruelty. And y'all still stand up when the flag play and cross your heart, hope to die. I couldn't imagine singing the national anthem. If you got some age on you, they used to make you sing it when you was young. They used to say, I pledge allegiance. I remember it, to the flag of the United States. I remember that. So that you was young and then you was indoctrinated. And I know it's going to be, oh man, this guy is dogging America. Give me an argument that I haven't heard yet. Or if you don't like it, you can leave. This brotherhood class is when you've heard all of the lame and weak arguments, you would just rather, you would rather the white man say, you know what, I have been cruel to you. I've been unruly. I have been a liar. I have been the biggest deceiver on the earth. I have not only took your identity, but I will take the best of you and use it to my benefit. This is verse 17 again. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. Who was that nation that was supposed to save us, that was supposed to redeem us? I know. It's the same argument, but you can't tell me with all of these churches, the power is there, the money is there. You telling me all of these people we can't help? I thought we were supposed to be the melting pot. Every stupid, dumb argument is just saying, you know what? I want Christianity to be nutritious so that I can do whatever I want to and turn a blind eye and put some money in the collection plate, and then I'll feel better. I'll go to work tomorrow and everything will be just fine. And it's not. People think, oh, I'm going to take care of myself. I hear so many arguments that say, well, I'm going to come up, man. I'm going to give me some money. I'm going to do this. And you doing it alone. Who wants to sit at the top of the mountain while all of your people need help? You're a selfish. Get the cup. You're selfish. How can you be selfish in a time like this? I'm going to pull up an article about leading. Oh, shoot. Salaki, 1 second. Japanese, Korean, East Indian. Why ICE not coming after them? Why ICE not kicking their door down and snatching them out the Chinese restaurants? I'm just looking for some answers from all the genius people that's around the world and all of these great scholars and all these people with these degrees. Where are these people? Why ICE not going to all the Chinese restaurants and getting all of those illegals? There's a story that says the other immigrants, illegal immigrants, even though you can't be illegal on the land that you stole by force, by unaliving, they go through the route of coming up from Mexico. America, man, you should have shame every day. I remember when I didn't get the truth yet, and I used to look at people like, man, they crazy. These guys, and it wasn't, the school, the ISUPK, it was guys who was just, out of their mind. But I realized they was trying to find an answer to the oppression So they was reaching and latching on to anything. When America does that to you, you seeing guys who saying, oh man, well, let's try this way. Let's try that way. And of course, they didn't have the truth yet. But even then, you become blind to the oppression that other people are going through. You become heartless. It's too many churches and too many Muslim mosques to be heartless. I bet you your pastor won't say nothing. Joel Osteen will not say anything. Marvin Sapp will not say anything. Kurt Franklin will have his tight pants on and his zoot suit, and he'll be popping his butt and twerking like a woman and singing songs. You won't hear no country artists, no country music people will stand up, and they stole country music. When are you white people who have all this power going to use it to do some good? I know you don't want to take the blame for it. You should be shamed. I'm going to read 17 one more time, and I'm going to go into 18. Matter of fact, let me go to 18 just for time's sake. It says, they hunt our steps. If you're just tuning in, this is Lamentations 4, verse 8, chapter 4, verse 18. They hunt our steps, that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near. Our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. We've talked about the Third World War. But before that takes place, you can't have an open eye to see what's happening. You can't have no compassion for people who are running from oppression, running from wars. They're running for a better life. Yet you look at Elon and he's flying in his 50, I never heard of a white African, but he's flying in 50 white Africans on a jet, getting them all types of supplies and housing. And you don't say, man, the world is just cruel. You should take a piece of whatever you have and you should go and give it to every so-called Mexican that is struggling, because they are the backbone of why you can go to your refrigerator and you can go to your grocery store and get some fruit and vegetables. And I hate to be like that, because there are other so-called Mexicans who do different things. But for the working class people who put their life on the line, they go work hard in these fields. Trump is talking about not going into where the farmers are. Why is he doing that? You telling me we need to vote? We got billionaires who do nothing, man. They go sit on the hill and they want to drink wine and drive these Bentleys. Your day is gonna come. Your day is gonna come that you don't have to be cruel to these people. You ain't got no problem. When you look at the problems that we have, you cannot have a problem when you're going to work, especially when I see healthy people. You got a job, thank the Most High that you could live in America where they're going to hunt your steps and they're going to watch you. Why is it that you white people just be watching? You are the nosiest. You got cameras. You just be watching, looking for something bad to happen so you can go tell. Like, Karen was created. These white women got names, but now they've all transformed into Karens. I don't want to say all. I'm sure there's some good white lady who gonna give, gonna adopt a black kid and then give them white Jesus and Santa Claus. That's ironic, ain't it? We speak because we have. This is a legitimate beef. This is a legitimate problem. And when you look at the scriptures, or the Bible, it says not to trust these people, not to follow their ways. Come out of her, my people. Oh man, it's just these black Israelites. We spend day in and day out to change people's lives. We give up our life so that we can help others. And it's shameful that when you tell people that they are the greatest people on the face of this earth, they hate you for it. They shame you for it. If I was in purple and gold and had Africans and white people in my organization, you still would have a problem. A whole reset needs to happen. This is verse 18. They hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. That sounds very familiar, don't it? That sounds like, an immigrant is coming and trying to make a way. Do you know gangs was created from oppression? America is plentiful in everything. Yet you got people in the ghettos and the barrios and the reservations, and they fighting over crumbs. Make that make sense. Help me to understand how America can be so wasteful and throw away all types of food and resources. There are cities. What's the name? What are they called? There are empty cities in America that nobody lives in. Nobody lives in. There are houses, buildings. It's just that everybody has moved, but the cities still stand. There are places for these people to live. They can go, and if you left them alone, they would be great. Those are the things you really have to point out to say, do you really have to oppress these people? How stupid and forgetful do Black people have to be who don't stand with them? We stand with them. We stand with them. We support them. And every resource that we have, it goes out to the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Biblically speaking, if you are a Christian, you're supposed to be helping these people. You just tiptoeing and skipping to the movies. Oh, listen, wouldn't Captain America help them? Ain't that crazy? Where is the real life Captain America that would help these people? It's because you're just hypocrites. You're hypocrites. Shalom, sir. Yahweh Shem Yahshai Barakatah. The water, sir, for tuning in. This is what happens when you become cruel to a people. You have Black people that turn a blind eye to the oppression of their brothers. That's an identity crisis. That's an identity crisis. You should be hand in hand. Listen, if we just looked at, scratch that. If you knew your history, if you knew your identity, these things wouldn't be a part. We would be standing trying to separate from our oppressor. It wouldn't be no American flag. We wouldn't have to fake it. Like, how do you fake it on Thanksgiving? You're faking it. You don't like your aunt. Yeah, her mashed potatoes is not good. And you're congregating for people who have destroyed Native Americans. Now, what are they doing now? They're destroying families. You're destroying families. You're leaving children unattended. And listen, your day is coming. The day that things will be straightened and things will be done righteously, the day is coming. You don't have to listen. You won't have to fake it no more with your Aunt Sarah and eat the potato salad that she made with no seasoning and cranberries and walnuts. You won't have to eat it no more. Listen, the Lord is going to set this place straight. You will have strong backs. You listen, you will be in the field. You will rebuild this earth once that sky crack. And I know it sound, listen, you see the missiles going on right now. The missiles is coming down right now. They're gonna send, listen, the prophecies will come true. Then you'll be running. What Commander General Hanna, I just get in all black. Do it now. Do it now. Do it. Listen, the oppressor El Blanco is El Diablo. That's what he is. But back to the scripture. 18, they hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near. Our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. 19, our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heaven. What is America known as? The eagle. The eagle flyeth. I know. I listen. And for those people that are going through hell right now, serve the Lord. Put your faith in the Lord. Put your faith in the Lord. Listen, reach out to the ISUPK and you will be helped. Those are the things that are important. It's not, you know what I mean? Those small things don't mean anything when your life is being torn limb to limb and nobody's coming there to save you. We're going to go to the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. I jumped a little early in class by saying that you got to count on a power that's bigger than the power that's running the earth. You can't. Some of the arguments that people bring up is by saying, you had a black president. Well, you have actors. You have sports figures. You have, this person who was the first legislative, blah, 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 blah. When you get down to the nitty gritty, having faith in that power is keeping them laws, statutes, and commandments. It's being with your brothers. Let's see. I don't know what that is. That faith is keeping them laws, statutes, and commandments. And this goes out to breakoffs too. You got to come back to the original school. You got to come back. You're following men who then got bent over and taken advantage of. How can you still claim that banner? You're following men who were in jail for doing absurd things that they wasn't supposed to do. You get with a righteous organization and you keep them laws, statutes, and commandments. You're coming up with different doctrines. You're coming up with different beliefs. I always used to think there were so many answers in fixing the situation of America until you realize America don't want to fix the situation. America is nutritious. It wants to feed every demon that you have. It wants to send you, Shalom, sir. Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah. This is Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. That means that's like when he feels Zephaniah 2:1, come out of her, my people. Having the law, statutes, and commandments, it instantly separates you. You want something that's going to fix your problems? That's it right there. Not all of these other vain and vile beliefs. Being in the LGBTQ, I don't know how that's going to fix anything. How does that fix anything? How does that stop you from getting evicted? Or how does that fix your relationship with your parents or your brothers and your sisters? When it says the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, then it's not money that's going to fix you. You got to have a biblical morality. All of that is important. How you treat. I'm trying not to say nothing crazy that'll get clipped off these pages, but it comes down to something as simple. So people are going to feed you. And when I say America wants you to be a certain way, they want to feed you. I'm an Aries. I'm a Pisces. I'm a Sagittarius. This is what America is feeding you. They know it's not going to work because he don't operate like that. America operates with the sword. So if you don't have a sword that's better than America's, then what are you going to do? That's why you keep trying to apply these little stupid things. When they say, oh, I think y'all should get a business and that's how you'll get back at the man. A business is not going to stop domestic violence. Every tool that your oppressor is going to give you is not going to fix it. If you need a screwdriver, he's going to give you a hammer. If you need a hammer, he's going to give you some string. Like it comes down to us being so stupid that being in the truth washes all of that stupidity off of you. This is verse 11. It says, put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. That's the whole LGBTQ. That's feminism, right? That's men who come up with this red pill, blue pill. Those relationship gurus, they're not making no sense. If they had the answers, relationships will be fixed. It's as simple as having a key that fits in a lock. And I'm telling you that the key and the lock is in the Bible. If you're hot, listen, the Bible is the fire and the firewood. It's that simple until you start to take in what America is feeding you. And then after America destroys you, I see why you can be angry. But you can't be angry at the Bible. You need to be angry at Esau. You need to be angry at America. You should be angry at every Chinese person that wants you to go be ching chong, boom bao, and then follow Buddha. You should be angry with them because you can't be spiritual Chinese. Listen, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have an identity problem. It's a crisis. It's a loyalty issue. It's a love issue. It's for every Black man that wants to date a white woman. Ew. Yuck. Disgusting. And it's for every Black woman that wants to be half naked walking outside. Somebody has, listen, you only doing that because you've been oppressed and taught to do it. You've been taught that, man, I can't have a brother that's not my brother. And then you end up falling out with your brother, like your biological brother. But if you looked at if every so-called Mexican looked at another so-called Mexican as his brother, it wouldn't be an issue. We wouldn't have that violence that we have. And that's all because you got an oppressor on top of you that is is doing you bad. You ever had somebody come to you and say, hey, man, they finessing you? They getting over on you. They charging you double. They tap you and say, I wouldn't have let him do me like that. That's us telling you about America. That's us telling you about the philosophies. That's us telling you about the holidays. That's us telling you that when he tell you, you can tap on a metal can, light some incense, and you're going to hit the lottery next week, and next week you're broke. That's what we're speaking against. We're speaking against Santa Claus. Like, we're speaking against all of it because it's not biblical. Do you know how it feels waking up and having the answers and then everybody denying it? To Men in the Truth, we push every day for every brother, for every sister to wake up and come out of her, my people. Excuse me. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood. This is verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. People love Revolt. People love Diddy. Listen, people love watching Shannon Sharp. So he was being Clubber Lang on Esau. Ain't that crazy? America you know. I got to remember that I am on social media, and it's important to share the message without getting things clipped. You know what I mean? It's best to censor what you have to say to keep the viewership, to keep the recording, to keep the pages until that day that, you know, it is the Most High in Christ time for rulership. Verse 12 is so deep when it says we wrestle not against flesh and blood. When it says that, it's a physical thing. It's a physical thing. When it says, but against principalities. You ever heard the term, you keep the laws of the land? When they say you keep the laws of the land, what if the laws of the land change to something that you're not with? What happens when they enact something to say, oh man, you can do this now? Usually you refrain from it, right? You refrain from it because it's something that you ain't really with. You say, oh no, I can't do that. I'm not down for that. That's not my cup of tea. So now they've legalized marijuana after they didn't put hundreds of thousands of men in jail for marijuana. Right? But you don't know who you're dealing with. You're dealing with an animal who is never fulfilled, who is always hungry. Always. Against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. Those rulers is in the government. Those rulers is every politician. You should I say every, because they're those undercover dealings that they're doing to sell you out. When is the crabs in the barrel not going to be true? And it's not even us. At some point, you got to realize and say, damn, we don't even have to be crabs in the barrel. But if they're only putting out enough for one person or the select few, we're all becoming a rat race to tear each other down just to be closer to Esau. It's shameful. Because at some point you got to say, what am I? Go live in the suburbs to be next to Thomas, who, you know, if Thomas don't get the girl in school, then Thomas is going to go get his father's weapons in the basement and he's going to go nuts. It was just a story of a white man who just did a whole bunch of unaliving. It happens every week. As common as they say a so-called black or Hispanic or Mexican is a thug, it's just so often that you got white on white crime. It should be something where you say, you know what, enough. I want to get out of that rat race, because you can't win. Even when you win, you lose. You lose because you following the principalities of, oh, well, you know, Becca is so sweet and our kids will have good hair. And you fall in love with Becca. Becca butt is about as flat as a chalkboard. Becca don't take showers. Becca is drinks beer. You know what I'm saying? Smells like wet dog. And you, and man, and these athletes just love a Becca, a Becky, a Becca, a Karen. Like, hold on, how do you see a Karen and then want a young Becca that turns into a Karen? They turn into Karens. It's my goodness. I want to pull this up, but you know, no, I don't want to get clipped. I don't want to get clipped. I'm not gonna pull that article up. This is verse 13. So we in Ephesians 6 and 13. Oh, I thought that was on. All right, we should be all right. Yeah, we should be all right. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. What are we standing against? What are we opposing? What are we in opposition of? Always love to ask people, what are you, just people when having conversations, what are you against? How do you feel that's okay? By what merit do you judge your life? And then you start to notice that they do kind of like the pick here, take here a little bit of this, when you should take on the whole armor of God, not just I don't smoke, or I don't steal. Take on the whole armor. Take on that if you lay with a woman, you keep her for the rest of your life. Take on that I'm going to love thy neighbor as myself, and that neighbor being your brother, a so-called Israelite. Take on all of it. Because what you don't take on, those demons will come. Every time you get that thought, hey man, should I do this? Should I? And you know that it's wrong. That voice is yourself. You're arguing with yourself by not taking on all of the laws, statutes, and commandments. Honoring thy mother and thy father. You could have a terrible, and America don't make it no better. America teaches you to be cruel. You should have, and this is for young adults who still got their parents. You should have some compassion for your parents to know that they was just as lost as you are. Those are the issues in the process that Ephesians is talking about. Of course, we're going to stand against all of America's wickedness. But to do that, you got to know what's righteous. And if you don't know what's righteous, then you're fighting a battle that you're going to lose. And when you lose, when you break that one time, Esau going to be there, and he's going to be there swiftly as the eagle. When you make a bad decision, don't fall for America's tricks. Don't fall into them telling you to separate and get a divorce or separating your relationship from your boyfriend or your girlfriend. You work it out. You call and you get counsel. You gotta look at America and say, how are you always there for my calamity? How are you always there for something bad? And why are the churches so non-existent when you need some real help? You ever notice that? America is that friend that always call you to do something that you know is evil. No, Jorge, I don't want to go on this mission to try to go get no drugs. That's what America is. America is that one friend that wants to take you down the path of evil until you figure out, man, I can't keep listening to this friend. This friend is leading to my destruction. That's the whole point. You're looking at somebody who is not there to help you, to save you. They're just there to offer. Listen, they offer you assistance, housing, EBT, but they want the man to be out the house. They're Listen, America is deporting immigrants, right? But they're only selective and not going to the farms. They only want to disrupt certain people, like when they stop the Haitians at the border. It's called picking and choosing. Would you hang with a friend that picks and chooses? Wouldn't you? If you were a bully, you could say, man, you're gonna bully everybody, but the bully don't bully the ones who bigger. And that's to say, listen, when Christ cracked that sky, there's going to be a power that America cannot bully. And until that day comes, why don't you get with the Bible? Because every little trick you didn't had in the book has been unsuccessful. All of that. Why not? What else is there out there for you besides what you're doing now? Listen, to understand the oppression, first you got to know you at war. This is 14. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth. What are your loins? It's talking about your midsection. And having on the breastplate of righteousness. What does that mean? That is saying to stand strong in righteousness. How can you watch every time you watch a video and you say, man, those police shouldn't have done that? Is the same way you should see these videos of ICE and say, man, they shouldn't be doing that. I learned that America is an idiot. America is just a dumb old white man that don't want to see nobody be successful. It wants no rivals. All those other, other nations of people, I'm not talking about the 12 tribes. All those other nations of people are just the same. They're in a rat race to dominate. I get it. But I can guarantee you that these children of Israel are going to serve the Lord. And that day, the power is going to come that no man can stand against. No machine, no weaponry can stand against. I would rather stand with that power than stand with Esau, because he got supersonic missiles and he got Christmas and he got bacon. How dumb is that? Like, it's easy to point out how dumb something is when you stand on the other side of it. 1 second. When you stand on the other side of it and you see all the destruction that is coming from it, what land hasn't he invaded for oil? When you think about how important a life is, what you would be willing to give your life for. Would you be willing to give your life for your brother or your sister? You got to think about it. Would you be willing to give your life for your mother, your father, your son, or your daughter? Well, in this brotherhood in the ISUPK, I have brothers that I would gladly lay down my life for, because I know they would do the same for me. When you think about all the things that, turn on your news. Where's the good news station? You can go on your phone right now. Right now, you can go on your phone and you can Google every church that's in your neighborhood. You can Google it. You can Google their worth. You can Google who runs it. You can Google the politicians and where they live, if they have their address listed. I say that to say this. You can look it up, and what happens is none of them will take responsibility for the things that happen in the ghettos, the barrios, and the reservations. So often we hear that people have an accountability problem. Don't that make sense right now? An accountability problem. How many people will lose their life on your watch? How many of your neighbors that you're supposed to love are going to be destroyed because of ICE, because of the unjust leadership of America? I know you're going to go to sleep at night with your air conditioning on, and it's going to be comfortable. You're going to do this. I know you'll do that. You go to work and you'll eat your nasty mayo sandwich that Rebecca made, mayo and raisins. And they'll go to church on Sunday and praise white Jesus. And you'll love them. You're supposed to see the deceiver in the earth to say, well, damn, Becca, your father got a whole warehouse of goods. You don't think you can help? At what point do you have so much that you give nothing? I want you to give these people the truth. I would give them the truth. Hey, listen, I know when y'all came off that boat to North, Central, and South America and all the other places of the earth, y'all the children of Israel. Y'all should just stick together, and y'all should hate me with every bone in your body and hate everything that I give you. It should be a crime to give love to another nation that's not your people. It should be outlawed. And yeah, you may not agree with it, but you don't have nothing that's going to fix it. They got people who get the Nobel Peace Prize. You got people who get all types of awards. Man, we just invented a car that runs on water. Who gives a damn? What's more important? I'd rather have these brothers and sisters in these ghettos, these reservations, these barrios, these farms. I would rather get them to stick together and serve the Lord. This is Matthew 6:24. It says, no man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon. What does that mean for today? When you say you can't serve two masters. What two masters are you serving? It's talking about the philosophies that you follow and the things that you don't follow. Part of it is saying you can't serve two gods. Of course, we can talk about, being a Christian and being a Muslim. Both of those are wrong. When you should come back to your nationality and your heritage of being an Israelite. But it's also talking about what other guys do you serve in your daily life. What are those things? Listen, and one guy I saw him post something, and he said he don't, he was like bashing Christianity, which was no problem for me. But then you see him serve, you hear these pro-blackity blacks, and then you see him doing Father's Day. Then you see him doing July 4th. You don't believe in anything. You believe in your lust. That's what you believe in. What's going on, Tone? Like, share, and subscribe. I'm not sure what you... Okay, yeah, no. Who are you going to serve? Who are you going to follow? Are you going to live a contradiction? Or you could just say, man, I'm America. You can serve America. That's what it's talking about. When it says you cannot serve two masters. You can't pledge allegiance to America and then hate your brother and have him deported. If that's the case, we need to give all of the land back to the so-called Native Indians and the so-called Mexicans. That makes sense, don't it? But that's not going to work. The power that we serve, when he decides, because it says the Most High Yahweh is a man of war. His son Christ, Yahweh Shai, will crack that sky. And until that day, we're going to keep reading the Bible. We're going to continue to be fishers of men. Until that day, we become hunters. I pray you understand. We're going to go close it out. We might not close it out yet. Let's go to Luke. Before I run out of time, go to Luke 1. Maybe I'll hit on some of this next week. This is Luke chapter 1, verse 68. Blessed be the Lord God of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people, and hath raised up a horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began. 71. That we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. Why is this in Luke? Why is this in Luke? Why is it saying that he has raised up a horn of salvation? I thought if salvation was for everybody, why are we being saved from our enemies? This is what America told us, that we'll go to heaven and everything will be all right. But I'm listening and reading. I'm reading, not listening. It says that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. That's going out to the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's who it's talking about. It's not going to work for nobody else. Mary Slaughter joined through the invite. So something is going on that we have yet to wake up to. When we say separate from America, it's talking about take your spirit out of America. Take your love out of America. The people who have built this place have built it to oppress you. They can't give you drugs and then be mad when you sell them and you're an addict and you do crazy things. They can't be mad when you're looking for the land of milk and honey, the land of salvation, when you want to come over here and just work and take care of your family. And you don't speak good English. They're still going to hate you. When you are so-called blacks and Hispanics are the working class of America that keeps America going, that turns the wheels. Shout out Smith & Wesson. I think that's a black fist. So when 71 says that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us, it can't be a God loves everybody, because these people are being oppressed. I don't want to hear about, oh, everybody was enslaved. We talking about the enslavement that the Lord put us through. So if you want to listen, if you want to be an FBA, go be stupid. If you want to be Islam, go be stupid. Go be it. You want to be Christian? Listen, go be Christian. And when they pass the plate around and it keeps going around, and you say, God, and then they pass the credit card machine around, and then they lock the doors. I couldn't go in a place like that. And then listen, if you want to go to church and your pastor come down on the string wearing tights and bell bottoms and twerking, and then he touch you and you fall out, go be a Christian. A Christian, listen, a Christian can't have ears or eyes, because how can you have all this love and this white Jesus, and there were just kids in cages, and now they're being deported and families I keep saying it. It's a delusion. It's a delusion. You got to be stupid. And this past stupid. You got to be blind, selfish, disgusting, diabolical, hard of hearing, special needs, LGBTQ. You have to be you got to be the rainbow. You got to be, on a circus. What more can somebody say besides, hey man, you're being tricked? Somebody's here to help you. You got a group of people that will show you how to follow the Lord. Oh man, listen, it's past brainwashing and hypnotized. Brainwashing and hypnotized is the minimum. If you can tell somebody, I don't know if you've ever heard Smith & Wesson, they got these things called furries, that you can be half human, half animal. That's past brainwashing. That's past Neo taking a pill. Listen, what America give you is so nutritious. You get all your evil vitamins. You get the battery pack to do anything. It's almost like you can be anything. Oh man, you should look it up. Check it out, man. Check it out. They got kids in school that answer the teacher and they have cat and they say meow 7. And I'm stupid. Hold on. I can find it. Hey, TikTok, I can't share this with y'all right now, but I could share it. Listen, furries at school. Look at that. If I get clipped, I just get clipped. Let me see.
To show up to school in a fursuit or with tails and collars. And it's obviously making a lot of children uncomfortable.
There are things like dog leashes and collars and walking a child as though they're an animal and tails that are tripping hazards.
The teachers should not be going along with this and affirming their animal identity.
A secondary school pupil is said to suffer from species dysphoria, and teachers are supporting the youngster.
And you want to be American? And you want to be that? You want to be a furry? and they use the bathroom in like the cat box. They take the litter box and take it to the bathroom. No, thank you. No, thank you. Hey, I agree with you. I agree. Listen, I agree with you. America will offer you every weapon to destroy yourself. Oh, hold on one second. Oh, shit. 1 second, Slocky. All right, excuse me, Slocky. Sorry about that. Let's see. Has rights. Let's see what you got to say. In the end, they'll say everyone else has rights, so why not them? I see it coming. Yeah, Mary Slaughter. Yeah. It's America will offer you every evil and wicked thing to get you from serving the Lord. Everything. You can go to church as a furry. I'm going to jump to 74. It says that he would grant unto us that we, being delivered out of the hand of our enemies, might serve him without fear. Let's talk about serving Christ and the most high in Christ. This is, paraphrasing the scripture. This is the whole duty of man, to fear God and keep his commandments. Keeping his commandments is brotherhood. Keeping his commandments is separating from every way of evil that America is going to teach us. And that's talking about hating our brothers and sisters. It's talking about hating the so-called Hispanics, the so-called blacks, the so-called Native Indians. Come together, gather together, O nation not desired. We have a chance to change because the end is coming soon. And it's best to do that. If you are, watching this, if you are so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native American, you can contact isupk.com. If you're in the Southern Ohio area, it's 765-631-1129. This is the Tuesdays Brotherhood class. ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana. Shalom.